Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're going to be diving deep today
Ooh, exciting.
into something super important.
Yeah.
It's how to figure out if a problem is actually worth solving, and then,
Right.
how to create something that people really want.
Yeah, a solution that's actually valuable.
Exactly.
That's the key.
So we've got a ton of great insights from all this research we've been doing,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm really excited to dig into it all with you.
Me
To
too.
help us out, we have our expert in business strategy here with us.
Always happy to be here. It's fascinating to me how much emphasis people put on just coming up with ideas.
Oh, totally.
Like, that's the first step,
Yeah.
but it's not enough.
Yeah.
Ideas are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's that old saying, ideas are two a penny.
Right. They're a dime a dozen.
Exactly. What really matters is finding the right problem.
Yeah.
And then figuring out how to solve it in a way that people actually value.
Right, because sadly,
Yeah.
there's a lot of companies out there that just completely missed that step.
They built something nobody wanted.
Exactly. They didn't solve a real problem.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and help you avoid that.
Absolutely.
So, okay,
Yeah.
so how do we do that? How do we go from like this jumble of ideas
Right. From just like a million
to
ideas.
a real problem we can solve?
Well, I think the first thing
Right.
is you have to get really, really clear
Yeah.
on who you're actually trying to help.
Right.
And I don't mean just like a general sense, like,
Right.
oh, people who like coffee.
Busy professionals?
Like, that's not specific enough.
Yeah, you really have to define that target audience.
You need a laser focus.
Totally. And that reminds me of that example we were looking at
Oh, yeah.
about the nonprofit that's working in Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
And
Trying to bridge that digital divide for the kids over there.
yeah, exactly. They're trying to help kids access technology.
Right.
But they even went deeper than that.
It got really specific.
They got super specific about it. They said, okay, well,
Which kids?
it's not just all the kids in Kazakhstan.
Right.
It's the kids in these very marginalized communities,
Exactly.
in rural areas, who lack not only the digital skills,
Yeah.
but
Don't even have the computers.
they don't even have the computers.
Yeah.
So they really narrowed it down.
They defined their who. That's a great example.
Yeah, and I think that's a good lesson for all of us because it can be tempting.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
It's like you want to help everybody.
Everyone's going to love this.
The whole world.
But that's just
That's a recipe for,
not going to work.
yeah. You
Yeah.
can't be everything to everyone.
Right. You got to dilute your impact.
Yeah. You spread yourself too thin.
So what should we do instead?
You got to find what we call
Okay.
the minimum viable segment.
Okay, I like that. The minimum viable segment.
Yeah, that sweet spot
Okay.
where there's a specific group of people
Yeah,
with a burning need
they need this.
that your solution can solve.
I love it.
Okay.
So we've got our problem-solving hats on,
We're ready to go.
and we've identified who we want to help.
Yep.
But now we have to really figure out
Right.
what's their actual problem.
Yeah, how do we get inside their heads?
Yeah. How do we understand what they're really struggling with?
I think the key here
Yes.
is don't go in with a pitch.
Ooh, I like that. Don't pitch.
Yeah.
Just listen.
Become a detective.
Oh, I love it, a detective.
Yeah, we need to really understand what our customers are saying.
Like, truly listen.
Truly listen.
Don't just be waiting for your turn to talk.
Exactly. One of the articles we read
Yeah.
put it perfectly.
Okay.
It said, don't pitch them anything, ask them everything.
Oh, that's so good. I love that.
It's all about asking the right questions.
Yes.
Uncovering that, like, hair on fire pain point.
Yeah, what's keeping them up at night?
Exactly. What's
Yeah.
that thing that makes them say, I need this solution like yesterday?
Yes. And I think
Yeah.
the way we frame those questions is so important.
Oh, absolutely. You got to go deeper than just those surface level complaints.
Right, like,
We got to find the root cause.
yeah, instead of just saying, do you find it hard to manage your finances?
Yeah, which is a yes or no question.
You have to say.
What's your biggest frustration
Exactly.
when it comes to tracking your spending?
Yes. And that's going to get them to open up a little bit more.
It invites them to share.
Yeah, and give you real insights.
Exactly.
So we're actively listening. We're asking insightful questions.
We're getting there,
And we're starting to get a sense of what those pain points are.
right?
But now how do we go from that to a sharply defined problem?
Right. How do we filter out the noise?
Yeah, how do we figure out what's mission critical?
I think we need a framework,
Ooh, I love a good framework.
something to guide us. And I
Yeah.
think the 4 U's are perfect for this.
Okay, the 4 U's, tell me more.
So the 4 U's stand for unworkable, unavoidable, urgent,
Okay,
underserved.
okay, those are great. Us. I'm loving these us.
So let's start with unworkable.
Okay, unworkable.
This isn't just like a minor inconvenience. This
Yeah.
is like a major problem that's causing real issues.
A real headache.
Remember that example we talked about with the iPhone launch?
Oh, yeah. When they couldn't even activate the phones.
Yeah. People were so excited.
They were so excited to get their hands on the new iPhone.
And then they couldn't even use it.
What a nightmare.
It was a disaster for Apple.
Oh, totally.
Like, that was a problem that was so unworkable that
Yeah.
people got fired.
Wow. Talk about high stakes.
Yeah, it took them years to fix that.
Wow.
And a lot of money.
So that's a good example of unworkable, but that's like a tech problem.
Right.
What about other kinds of problems?
Well, the 4Us can apply to all sorts of problems.
Okay.
Like societal issues.
Okay.
Remember that example in Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
Where they were talking about
The socioeconomic gap?
the socioeconomic gap.
Yeah. And how if kids don't have access to education and resources,
Right.
it could lead to unrest and instability.
Absolutely.
So that's a problem that's unworkable on a much bigger level.
On a societal level.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we also saw that with Cohort
Yeah.
and their mission to increase graduation rates for Black students.
Right. They pointed out.
Yeah. 20% of Black students won't graduate high school.
That's a huge problem.
That's unworkable. That's
Yeah.
people's lives being affected.
And potential being wasted.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so we got unworkable.
Let's talk about unavoidable.
Okay, unavoidable.
These are things that are just going to happen, like taxes, death,
Right, death and taxes.
aging.
Oh, yeah, aging. Tell me about it.
We can't avoid those things.
Right, and that makes me think of Sharon's project
Oh, yeah, with the bike seat.
with the revolutionary bike seat design.
Yeah, she's tackling.
Because we all agreed
Yeah,
aging is unavoidable.
it's going to happen.
And for a lot of women,
Yeah,
it comes with certain health issues that can make biking difficult.
exactly. So
So she's addressing something that's unavoidable.
it's a problem that's not going away.
Right.
And it affects a huge population.
Huge segment of the population.
Exactly. So that makes it
A really compelling problem to try and solve.
a very valuable problem to solve.
Okay, so we got unworkable, we got unavoidable.
What about urgent?
Okay, urgent. How do we know if something's urgent enough to really focus on?
Well,
Because some things are important, but maybe not urgent.
right, and urgency is all relative.
Yeah.
What's urgent for one person
Right.
might not be urgent for another.
And that reminds me of the conversation we had
Oh, yeah.
about space health
The company providing medical care,
for the space sector,
yeah, for space.
which is super fascinating.
Yeah.
But is it urgent for most of us?
Probably not.
Probably not, unless you're going to space.
But for those astronauts,
It's super urgent.
it's life or death.
Exactly. So it really depends on who your audience is.
Yeah, it's all about context.
And what their needs and priorities are.
You got to understand their world.
Absolutely. Okay, so that brings us to our last UD,
Underserved.
underserved. And this one is all about recognizing
Yeah.
that there are limited resources.
Time, money, attention.
You can't solve every problem.
And you have to convince your customer
Yeah,
that your solution is worth prioritizing.
that it's more important than something else.
Exactly. You got to show them
Yeah,
that you're addressing a need
yeah.
that's not being met by the current options.
And that reminds me of Taste of Kenya.
Oh, yeah, the coffee company.
Yeah, and how
They're not just selling coffee.
they're
They're addressing a gap in the market.
yeah, a lot of Kenyan coffee consumers can't even afford
Yeah, they can't afford the good stuff.
the Kenyan coffee.
They end up buying cheaper imports.
So they're addressing affordability and access.
They found a segment that's underserved
I love that.
and that has a strong desire
Yes.
for this specific product.
Okay, so we've got this amazing 4Us framework.
It's a great tool.
It's going to help us figure out if a problem's worth solving.
Yeah.
But how do we know if we're right about the problem?
There's only one way to know for sure.
Okay.
Talk to your customers.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to challenge your own assumptions.
Oh, I like that.
Get out there.
Yeah.
Ask those tough questions.
Yeah.
Let your users guide you.
Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they're the real experts in their own experiences.
They know what they need better than anyone.
Exactly.
You know, though not every problem has to be like a
Yeah.
life or death situation to
Okay.
be valuable.
I'm curious. Tell me more.
I mean, humans have all sorts of needs and desires.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Maslow's hierarchy?
Yeah.
We need food, shelter,
The basics.
the basics. But we also crave connection,
Yeah. We want to belong. We
self-esteem.
want to feel good,
Yeah.
look good, connect with others.
Exactly. A part of being human.
That's where a lot of those consumer businesses
Yeah.
really thrive. Totally. I mean, think about something like Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's not solving world hunger or
Right.
climate change,
But it's meeting.
but it is tapping into that.
That human
a
need
very human need to connect.
for connection.
And,
Yeah.
in today's world, staying connected is
It's pretty important.
kind of important.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just like social connection.
Yeah.
Think about a company like Rent the Runway.
Oh, yeah.
They saw that people
We wanted to look good.
wanted to look amazing
Yeah.
for those special occasions.
Right. But maybe you didn't want to spend a ton of money
Exactly.
on a dress they're only going to wear once.
So they created this whole new business model
Sure.
around that desire.
They turned something that was like a nice to have
Yeah,
into a must have.
exactly.
When I'm trying to figure out
Yeah.
if a problem is worth solving,
Uh-huh.
I love using that before and after analysis.
Oh, yeah. That's a great tool.
It's so helpful.
You basically paint a picture of the current situation.
Yeah, before.
The before, with all the pain points,
Yeah.
the frustrations,
And then you contrast that with
the ideal scenario,
the after.
the after,
Right.
where the problem is solved.
Right.
Life is good.
And that reminds me of Celine Health
Oh, yeah.
and how they describe
Their before and after.
their before and after the before.
Yeah.
Was women going through menopause, struggling,
Yeah, with all those symptoms.
debilitating symptoms
Mhm.
affecting their work, their relationships,
Yeah. Their quality of life.
everything.
I mean, the after.
The after was this world where women could navigate menopause gracefully.
Reclaiming their vitality.
Yeah, and their well-being.
It's such a powerful story.
It is. It's something that
It
resonates
connects with people.
on a really personal level.
Yeah.
Because you can really
You
imagine.
can see yourself in that story.
Yeah. And that's what we want, right?
We want people to feel that transformation
We want to show them that our solution
is going to make their life better.
can actually make a difference.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got this before and after.
We've painted the picture.
But how do we know
Yeah.
if the benefit's actually worth it?
Right. How do we measure that impact?
Yeah, because some solutions
Yeah.
might be more trouble than they're worth.
Exactly. And that's where the gain-pain ratio comes in.
Oh, I like that. The gain pain ratio.
It's a simple but powerful framework.
Okay.
You're basically asking
Yeah.
how much value
Yeah.
does the customer get from using my solution
Right.
versus the effort
And the hassle.
and the risk
Yeah.
involved in making the switch.
So we want the gain to outweigh the pain.
Absolutely. We want that ratio to
yeah.
be so
To
compelling
be like a no-brainer.
that people are like, sign me up.
Where do I sign?
I gotta have this.
Yes.
And it's not just about listing the benefits.
Yeah.
We also have to understand the pain points.
Right, those barriers to adoption.
Exactly.
Mm.
From the customer's perspective.
Put ourselves in their shoes.
Exactly.
And that makes me think of
Yeah.
Venmo,
oh, yeah.
which now is so easy to use.
It's super easy.
But when it first came out,
There was some resistance.
yeah,
Like people were
you had
hesitant.
to link your bank account.
Yeah.
There were security concerns.
Right.
And the network was small.
Yeah, they had some hurdles to overcome
They did.
before people really embraced it.
Absolutely.
So we have to anticipate
Yeah.
those objections.
Those reasons why someone might say no.
Yeah.
And think about things like training,
Right.
integration, compatibility.
It might not work with their current systems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or even the risk of working with a startup.
Yeah, because startups,
They're unproven.
they don't have that track record yet.
Exactly.
So we have to really think through all of that.
All those little details
Yeah.
that could make someone hesitate.
To really understand
At the customers.
perspective.
And then we can figure out
Okay.
how to mitigate those concerns.
Yeah. How to make it as easy as possible.
Exactly. Maybe
And
it's
they'll just say yes.
offering amazing customer support.
Okay.
Maybe it's partnering with a bigger company
To build that trust.
to give you some credibility.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways to address those concerns.
It's like building a bridge
Yeah.
to help the customer cross over
Are they smooth?
from the
Lots of
before to the
feedback.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when it comes to that gain pain ratio,
Yeah.
is there a magic number?
That's a great question.
Like a tipping point?
There's no hard and fast rule,
Okay.
but I like to think about it in
Mhm.
terms of like an order of magnitude improvement.
Ooh.
So if you can show
Yeah.
that your solution offers
Yeah.
like a 10x gain
Wow.
compared to the alternatives,
Max.
you're going to grab people's attention.
That's huge.
It's about showing that your value proposition
Yeah.
isn't just incremental,
Right.
it's transformative.
It's a game changer. Okay, so we're in this world now
We are
where there are so many
products and services.
products and services.
And marketing messages.
Yeah.
It's so noisy.
It's so noisy. And I think
Mhm.
we're all kind of guilty of this.
Oh, yeah.
But we fall back on these phrases,
It's-
faster, better, cheaper.
Faster, better, cheaper.
Yeah.
We need to go beyond that.
Okay. I'm ready to level up my vocabulary.
I love it.
What's the secret? How do we create a value proposition
Right.
that really stands out?
Well, first of all, faster, better, cheaper
Yeah.
can be a race to the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's always going to be someone
With more resources.
with more resources.
Who can undercut you?
Who can do it faster, cheaper.
Yeah, you can't win a price war with Amazon.
You can't.
No.
No, so you got to find another way.
Okay, so what's the alternative? What should we be focusing on?
I think we need to think about 3D breakthroughs.
Ooh, 3D breakthroughs.
Oh, I like that.
So the 3Ds are
Yeah.
disruptive, discontinuous, and defensible. Okay, break it down for me.
All right, so let's start with disruptive.
Okay, disruptive,
This is about
Yeah.
challenging the status quo,
shaking things up.
shaking things up,
Yeah.
introducing a new way of doing things.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a groundbreaking technology,
Wow.
like multi-touch interfaces.
Oh, yeah, those old phones with the physical keyboards.
Yeah, I remember those.
I kind of miss them sometimes.
They were clunky,
They were clunky, yeah.
but multi-touch completely changed
Changed everything.
how we interact with devices.
Yeah. And now we can't imagine life without it.
Exactly. But disruption isn't always about technology.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's a business model,
Yeah.
like Airbnb.
Oh, yeah.
They disrupted
The whole travel industry.
the entire travel industry.
Yeah, by connecting travelers
Yeah.
with homeowners.
With people who had extra space.
And they don't even own any property.
They don't own any hotels.
It's a completely different
Business model innovation.
business model. Yeah. Okay, so we got disruptive.
What about discontinuous?
It's continuous.
This is about creating something
Yeah.
that wasn't possible before.
Ooh, a big leap forward.
A leap forward.
And that makes me think of
Eh?
Amazon Web Services.
AWS.
AWS.
They took their massive infrastructure
Yeah.
and they created,
The cloud computing.
and that revolutionized how
If
businesses access computing
this
resources.
is a game changer.
It opened up so many possibilities.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got disruptive, we've got discontinuous,
And last but not least, defensible.
defensible,
This is all about
Yeah.
protecting your value proposition,
building a moat.
building a moat
Yeah.
around your
And
business.
keep those competitors out.
Exactly. So how do we do that?
Yeah, how do we build a moat?
Well, one way is through intellectual property.
Ah, yes, IP.
Patents, trademarks,
Trade secrets.
trade secrets.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, that legally protects your innovations.
Yeah. And that makes me think of,
Teraflow.
oh, yeah, the software.
It's helping those
Pharmaceutical companies.
pharmaceutical companies.
Understand why drugs work for some people and not others.
Yeah, and they're actually exploring
They are. Patent protection.
for their algorithms
Yeah.
and their data analysis techniques.
So smart.
Yeah, patents can be very powerful.
Yeah. But defensibility can also come from
Heck yeah.
things like switching costs.
Oh, yeah, switching costs.
This is when
It's so much of a hassle
it's such a pain
to switch to a competitor
to switch,
that you just stick with what,
even if there might be something slightly better out there.
Exactly. Think about your phone number.
Oh, yeah.
Would you switch carriers
No.
if it meant giving up your number?
No way. Too much hassle.
Too much hassle.
Updating all your accounts, telling everyone your new number.
Exactly. That's a classic example of switching costs.
Yeah.
And then there's network effects.
Network effects.
This is when the value of your product
Yeah.
increases as more people use it. Yeah. The more the merrier.
The more the merrier.
And it makes it really hard for competitors to catch up.
It creates that virtuous cycle.
Yeah.
More users attract more users.
I mean, think about something like Venmo.
Oh, yeah.
How it's so widely used.
Everybody's on it.
Yeah. It's just so convenient.
Why would you switch?
I wouldn't switch.
To something else.
No. It's just so easy.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's data.
Data.
Data is becoming
Yeah.
incredibly valuable.
Yeah, and that reminds me of
Yeah.
Vivian's project
Oh, yeah.
with the facial recognition.
And analyzing those.
Yeah, analyzing
That's
consumers'
exceptional responses.
marketing materials.
To see what they really think.
Exactly. The more data they gather,
Yeah.
the more accurate their insights become.
Right. And that gives
The
them
real edge
a serious edge.
in the market research world.
Okay, so we've covered a lot.
We have.
We got the 4 U's for defining the problem.
Yep.
We got the before and after for visualizing the impact.
The gain-pain ratio
For measuring the value.
for measuring the value.
Yep.
And the 3Ds
Of breakthrough innovation.
of breakthrough innovation for building defensibility.
We've got a whole toolbox here
We are loaded with tools.
for creating a killer value proposition
This is amazing. Okay, so my brain is like overflowing
full of frameworks.
with all these frameworks and insights.
It's a lot to take in.
But how do we actually like distill it all into a value proposition statement?
Yeah, how do we actually put it into words?
Yeah, the kind that people are going to hear and be like,
Tell me more. I'm interested.
yeah. Well, thankfully, there's a formula for that.
Ooh, I love formulas.
A good value proposition statement should clearly tell people
Okay.
who you're serving,
Yeah.
what problem you're solving,
Okay.
the unique value you bring, and why you're the best choice.
Okay. I like that. So break it down for us.
All right, so let's use TerraFlow as an example.
Okay.
Remember, they're developing that software.
Yeah, for pharmaceutical companies. To help them figure out why drugs work for some patients and not others.
Right, such a cool idea.
So their value proposition statement could be something like,
Okay.
for translational scientists struggling to understand why the same drug works in some patients but not others, TerraFlow is a software platform that uses advanced data analytics to identify the key biomarkers driving drug response. Unlike traditional statistical packages, TerraFlow provides clear, interpretable insights, enabling scientists to make faster, more informed decisions about clinical trial design and drug development.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
It is.
But it's got everything.
It hits all the key points.
Yeah, who they're targeting, the problem, the solution, and what makes them different.
And it's not just a list of features.
Right, it's not just like,
It's about the benefits, the outcomes, the value.
so what?
Exactly.
Why should I care?
What's in it for me?
And in TerraFlow's case, it's pretty compelling.
Yeah, they're helping scientists make breakthroughs
That could save lives.
that could improve patient outcomes.
That's a story that I think a lot of people can get behind.
Absolutely. And that's what a good value proposition statement does.
Yeah, it tells a story.
It evokes emotion.
It makes you feel something.
It creates a sense of possibility.
So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive here,
Yeah.
what's the one thing you really want our listeners to take away?
I think the key takeaway is that success isn't about chasing every shiny new idea.
Right.
It's about identifying a problem that truly matters.
Yeah, one that people really care about.
And then creating a solution that delivers real value.
It's about passion, purpose, and market demand,
Find that sweet spot.
all coming together.
And ultimately, it's about making a difference.
Not just making money.
Exactly.
Love that. And this is a journey, right?
Yeah,
It's not like you figure it out overnight.
keep asking those tough questions.
Yeah.
Keep iterating. Keep refining your value proposition.
I'll keep refining
Until it sings.
until it sings. I love that. That's such a good motto
It is.
for anyone who's trying to create something
Something meaningful.
Something impactful, yeah. So to all of you out there who are on your own problem-solving adventures,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with this.
Yeah.
How can you identify a problem that's not just important, but urgent and underserved?
Where the gain outweighs the pain.
Exactly. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep. And we'll see you next time.